Hey, what's up, everybody? Ethereum is up 13% today, but not just Ethereum. I mean, you have a lot of other green in here. You have XRP up 5%, not too bad. You got ICP 7%. You got Bitcoin 4 to 5%, but Theta is almost 13% today. CRV 10%, SHIB. I mean, you get the idea. It's a pretty good day today as far as getting some green here. So we shall take it. So let's look at Ethereum for just a second, and then we're going to look at Theta, XRP, Bitcoin, maybe a few others. So yeah, so this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that we're starting to accelerate to the upside. The reason why is because for a little while now we've been tracking this wave right here, and not just Ethereum's wave, but also Theta's wave. I mean, it doesn't really matter which chart I look at because they're both an A, B, C correction, right? So we've been looking at Theta for a little while now, and we've been getting some very strong bullish divergence bottoming signals, right? We also have five waves: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or I'm sorry, that's not how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the third, and then you have 1, 2. All of that's 3, 4, and 5. You have bullish divergence between the third and the fifth. You're starting to get a little bit of bottoming behavior down there, a little double bottom, right? These are all signs and indicators that we use to sort of identify not the exact bottom, but the bottoming process, right? So a bottoming process can be something like this, where you're just kind of bouncing around a little bit. You're not too sure if we're going to continue down, go up, So it confuses people. Honestly, we've been here for how long now? Let's take a look. So kind of been going sideways here for about a month. Not too bad, right? So versus over here, we were going sideways for a lot longer than that. I would imagine this was about 2 months down there, but it's a different bottom, totally different bottom. This is coming, like this, and this is like a big crash. So there are two different types of bottoms that we should see in here. So with a big green day like this, it just gives us more confidence that the bottom is in. Because what I've been saying for this for a long time now, expecting a retrace. That doesn't happen overnight. Again, we got to be patient, but that's what I see. This wave is almost perfect, right? You have an A, B, C. If you look how big this wave is, it's in the same degree as this wave, right? So not only that, but another reason why I believed the bottom was in is because we came, if you look at this little area down here, by the way, 64 cents right here, right there, that's right where I started the YouTube channel, talking about Theta and really XRP. And from that point, I was expecting a retrace. We got a three-way move up, right? We got a three-way move down. Now we're getting, I would imagine, we should get a five-way move up, and it should be fast, violent, and very aggressive. So we shall see if we get that. We shall see. But let me go to our other Theta chart so that we can see the entire chart. And if we look closely at the entire chart, right, the retrace levels are way up here between maybe $5, $10. So that's kind of the zone I'm believing that we're going to go to. Now, the way that gets invalidated is if we get rejected right there. If we get rejected right there, I'm sure we're going to get rejected there. But if we get rejected and we pull back and we can't make it, and it's a strong rejection, then this could be, another having to go down again and sort of reset and then try again, you know. But if we can get up here and flag out a little bit, right, and then start working our way up, that would be ideal. So if you can see right here, before I was saying that right this area here, we came all the way down and we back tested it, right? So if you look at this, we built a little base right here. We broke out in 3 waves, and then we came back down in 3 waves, and we back tested. I mean, isn't that nice? Isn't that just beautiful? So now let's see if this area holds. Let's see if we can get more development, because again, theta's up 13% today, and 13% is that little tiny candle. I mean, you can see it's pretty big, but from the grand scheme of things, it's small, right? So we do have a bullish engulfing 2-day. This is a 2-day candle. Let's look at the daily though. There's the daily, and it's looking really, really nice. So let's talk about the small time frames and what we've been discussing here. So the first thing would be, let's look at the wave structure. So what did we talk about when it comes to theta? Well, obviously this is the crash. We're going down, 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 right? So we got 5 waves, we got divergence. It looks like, we're accelerating to the downside, but then we're slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. You can start to see it's curving. That kind of gives us a little indicator. That's the first thing. The next thing is we want a 5-wave move off the low. So when you look at the whole chart, when you look at this crash or the C wave, we want to see a 5-wave move off the low because that was a failed rally, that was a failed rally, that was a failed rally. But this is different. That looks completely different. This is bottlenecking. This is corrective behavior. This is not. This is impulsive behavior. And we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 5-wave diag right there. Okay, so boom, we got it. Now what are we looking for? Now we're looking for an ABC correction. And that's exactly what we got. We got an ABC. Right? So then what are we looking for? We're looking for a continuation of a 5-wave move. So if this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, then this is the beginning of wave 3, which is going to be one of the biggest waves. Right? 3 and 5 are usually the biggest waves. Sometimes 3, sometimes 5, depending if 5th is extended and how powerful that wave 3 can get us through the retrace levels, because a lot of times the 3rd wave has to battle retrace levels, whereas the 5th wave has a lot of open air, no resistance, right? It's a lot of times that 5th wave's in price discovery, so you get extended 5th waves, but we're nowhere near that. So, but anyways, we got 5 waves, right? We got a 3-wave pullback. So this could be the beginning of that 3rd wave, which you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now, the problem is if this comes up here, right? So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be an A. And then you get 3 down. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's your B, this down move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's your C. So it could be an ABC. Right? So what happens when you get an ABC on the bottom? Well, it can turn into a 4 and a 5, right? But if it doesn't turn into a 4 and a 5, what could you get? You can get 3 down, right? So you get 3 up and then you get 3 down. And basically, what are you doing? You're building the base. You're coming to the bottom of the base, 3 waves up to the top of the base, 3 waves down, back to the bottom of the base. And that's where it really confuses people, because they feel like, oh, Bitcoin's over 100,000. We should be good now. But then you kind of go up a little bit more, people get very euphoric, and then what happens? You sell off for like maybe 30 days, maybe 2 weeks, right? And you get, 3 down. So from 3 up to 3 down. So how long would that take? Well, how long has this 3 wave took? So like April 21st. Let's say it goes out a little bit more. Yeah, that's about maybe 25, 30 days. So you could spend that equal time, going back down, but it would actually be a good thing, not a bad thing. So let me just take this right here and put that right there. So this would be just an idea of how things can play out. So if we get back up here in 3, and then we come back down in 3, and then maybe come back up in 5, and then kind of flag out a little bit and then go up. So there's your base right there, right? So it could look something like that. Or if this is a 1, 2, we can go up for a 3, maybe get a 4, and then get a 5, back up to here. All right, and then that's your retrace levels in the 5th. What would be really nice though is if this could be 1, 2, and then we get our 3rd wave. Obviously, there's going to be pullbacks along the way, but you get your 3rd wave, and you're already up here in your 3rd wave. Right? Then you flag out for a 4, then you break out of that, and then you go in your 5th, versus expending your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the retrace levels. So that's why we want the 3rd to be as fast, as aggressive as possible. We want that 3rd wave to go as high as humanly possible, so that when we get our 5th wave, we have no resistance to worry about. As you're going to have resistance, but obviously higher level resistance, right? So yeah, let's take a little bit closer look here in the smaller time frames. Let's go to the 1 hour. So there you go. It's a lot cleaner. So the other idea is, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you have 3 down. But notice you had 4 and 5 right there. It looked like it came down. So I mentioned that since that's the case, it's possible that this next wave up can be a B wave, and then we still get a C, right? So A, B, C, and this is your 1, and we're still in a wave 2. We're still in a wave 2, and then we go up for our wave 3. And that would actually be a better looking base, because it would keep it from not breaking out, right? It would keep us going sideways and not breaking this range, versus the other way I had it, which is the range being like way up here. It's a pretty big way up and then a big way down. It would be better if this was the base right in here, and you had this little ABC pullback. So you had a 5-wave move up, and then if we get an ABC pullback, then you get 5 more up, then a little bit of a pullback, then a breakout. And then you have a solid base. But what else do you have? You also have an inverse head and shoulders here. And we also talked about that. So you have a shoulder, a head, and then a shoulder. And there's your neckline. And look at that. We're breaking the neckline right now. So where are we going? Where's the measured move of that neckline? And this goes for all altcoins, guys, not just Theta. If I'm not looking at your specific altcoin, they're all basically the same. They're all up today. So, they're all going in the same general direction. They might be slight differences, but for the most part, they're all basically the same. If you look at like Theta and SHIB, they look almost identical. If you look at NEAR and AVAX, they look very close. Or ICP. So there you go. The measured move is approximately, yep, that's what I would figure, right back to this high. So, and then another way we can measure it is if we take a trend-based fib extension from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 1 to the bottom of wave 2, is there any confluence in our measured move relative to where the 1618 is? Well, yes, there is. If you look closely, you could see we're basically right here at the 1618. So I would imagine the next stop would be probably $1. So, but I don't know if we're going to go there immediately. I don't know if we have to kind of pull back a little bit and then start working our way up. That's another story. But right now it still looks pretty good. It still looks impulsive. It still looks strong. It still looks like it's in control. So we'll see. Let's look closer now. Let's go to the 45-minute chart or 75-minute chart. You can see this is a very clear. And I like the way this, you see this wick right here? I actually bought more theta yesterday, and I will show you my receipt too. I bought more theta because of that candle right there. I loved it because you can see, notice how we had this kind of three-way move down, and then you can see right there, and you can see right there. And then look what happened right here. You broke the low. You broke that liquidity right there. And then you created that long wick with a long body, mind you. So I'm like, whoa, that looks interesting. So I said, all right, let's, this is, you know, you gotta take risk. Otherwise you're going to, it's never going to work. You got to take risk, especially knowing how long and grueling this wave has been, right? I mean, we've been falling and falling and falling and falling and falling for month after month after month after month after month after month. I mean, come on. How long is it going to fall? It's not going to keep falling. It's the longer this goes down, the higher the probabilities are that it's going to turn around. It is statistically improbable for the price to just keep going down, 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 down with no relative. I mean, if you look at the M2 money supply, it's going up. If you look at the economy, I mean, Powell said yesterday. And by the way, Powell spoke yesterday and nothing really happened. But today we see the after effects of what's going on, right? So sometimes it has that delayed effect. But, yeah, let's look a little bit closer again. Let me see where we are here. Yeah, so yeah, I really like that wave there. Oh, and another reason I bought it is because if you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. This is gonna watch this right here. Ready? I'm gonna put Bitcoin on the screen, and I want you to see if you see anything close to what I'm looking at here. All right. Does that look not familiar to you? Does that look familiar to you? Look at this, guys. You got obviously a big move up, right? You come down, right? This is right here is a flat. This is also a flat, right? So you have an A, B, C. Same thing here, A, B, C. You're developing that base, right? So you have that that move up, right? And then the follow through, right? And that's what we see now with the follow through. So that's another reason I bought theta yesterday. So I was going to do a members video today, but since the market's going a little bit crazy, I'll probably save that for tomorrow, or even later today. We'll see. But there's some things we got to talk about. All right. So where are we in relative to this wave? Well, you could see we should start flagging out now, because you could see right here, you got that little bit right there, that little bit right there. And then you move on up and you have your little correction there. Same thing here. It's in exactly the same correction, except theta is actually more bullish. Remember, this is the 4-day chart. This is the 30-minute chart. So it's completely, but you could see we had a little bit of a running flat right there. And right here, we have a little bit of an expanded flat. So I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter. But again, the more I speak and the more examples I give, the more people will hopefully remember, and when they do it in their own analysis, they can kind of see the things, because it's, this is not a 10-minute video of me telling you what to do. This is more like a 30 to minute to an hour video of me kind of explaining what I look for, and hopefully it helps. And um, I don't like to use the word teaching, but it kind of is. It's kind of teaching, because that's how that's how I got started, is just watching people trade on YouTube, and then I took it more serious. So if you're gonna take it more serious, consider becoming a member. Try it out. If you don't like it, you don't have to. Just see if it works. But essentially, the videos that I put out every day, or most every day, I think should help. So, but anyways, you could see we had this extra move up, and then what happened after that? We flagged out. So what should we expect here? Probably we're going to flag out, right? So yeah, let's see if that's the case. Today is Thursday, and usually Wednesdays and Thursdays are the most volatile days of the week, especially Thursdays. But Friday, I would hope that maybe we can kind of stabilize. If we don't aggressively sell off Friday, if we hold the levels, that would be really good going into Saturday. And then Sundays are bloody day. It's usually been our bloody day. Sundays have always just been short days for some odd reason, but probably because of thin order books and whatnot. But yeah. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin here, I think Bitcoin, you had this three-wave flat right there. It's expanded flat. And if this is a 1, 2, and this is a 3, and this is a 4, it's kind of a big 4. So that's why I wasn't so sure. But if that's our 4, then we could get a 5. And then now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have a 7-wave structure, which is just counting the subwaves of a particular big wave. Sometimes the subwave could be very big, and the third wave, like this, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that third or that fourth wave in the third or in the fifth could be bigger than the wave 2 of the third or the fifth, because of the rules of alternation. Sometimes they look like they're in different degrees, but they are in the same degree. Look up Elliott wave rule of alternation to know more. So yeah, Bitcoin, I believed, also has bottom. We talked about it. Why? Because you could see the RSI. Well, this is the 4-day. Let's go to the 2-day here. You can see the 2-day chart. Extreme bullish divergence, right? You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you had divergence between the third and the fifth. Not only that, but it was a slight lower low. Not only that, but you had a 3-wave move. Not only that, but you had an impulse off the low. And not only that, but you're having follow through. So it's very, very bullish. So I don't believe this is a B wave, right? It could be a B wave. And that the problem is those sneaky little flats. Because if this is a flat, A, B, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it could be over, right? So you have 3 down. And then you have, or actually it would be 1, let me see. It would be 1, come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your fifth wave, right? So you have an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. And it ends right there. And this wave is a new wave. It's a separate wave. But it looks like it's part of this wave because it's in the same downtrend. But some of the times it's not. So that's the sneaky little way of and one of the ways that you can identify that is how aggressive this wave is going up. So it gives me it gives me a lot of caution here because it could be a flat. All right. And what does that mean? That means that we could break the high, right? But it's going to fizzle out and it's over. It's done from there. Versus what I would imagine here is an actual fifth wave versus just, maybe 130, 140K, getting up here, right? Versus just coming up here and then fizzling out, or maybe even up here and then fizzling out, because this would be an A, B, C, right? So if we have 3 waves down and then we have 1, 2, 3 waves up, see, this is a flat, then what you could do is you could get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and it could be a big 3-wave move, right? And that kind of maybe would make sense. Why? Because we're approaching summer, July, August, September. These are extremely bearish months for crypto traditionally. Not saying it's going to happen, but this could be a trap is what I'm saying for Bitcoin. It could be a big trap. So just be cautious of that. Now, but to me, I don't think so. I think it's got to go a little bit further because altcoins, right? If we look at the altcoins, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, it's getting scary over bot. So we should see some type of altcoin dominance rise. So hopefully that's not a flat. Hopefully it's just a 5-wave move, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it is a 5-wave move, then we're right back at basically the all-time highs, right? We're right at this resistance zone. So what would we expect in this area? Well, you would still expect some kind of flagging out. Like you would want to get an ABC in here. And as Bitcoin is flagging out, consolidating, that's when we can see altcoins follow through and start to gear up, because a lot of the altcoins are still down here, right? Like Theta is still building its base. So as Bitcoin flags out, maybe that's when Theta breaks its base, right? So if this is a 5-wave move, it could also be a truncated 5th wave, which is a problem, right? Because it's going to fool a lot of people. A truncation means that it's still a 5th wave, but it doesn't break. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 5th doesn't break above the 3rd. It's rare, but it happens. I wouldn't say it's really rare. It happens actually more than you would think. But yeah, that's an idea. But the main idea that we all want, and that I think is very possible, is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that's it, right? But if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that could be the first of the 5th, right? Then we pull back for a 3rd, or for a 2, and then we go up for a 3rd, and then we pull back again for a 4, and then we get 5. So that would make the most sense to me. Now I don't know how deep we got to pull back. Let's take a closer look. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Oh yeah, oh that's beautiful. You can see it. You can see very clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very clear. And you can see that the wave 2 and the wave 4 are very in the same degree. And I felt like, I believe, what did we talk about yesterday? Oh yeah, it exactly played out. Well, there's a couple ideas, but essentially we had a flat here, right? We had a move down and we had 3 waves up, and then it looked like 3 waves down. So you had 3 down, you had 3 up, and then you had 3 back down. That is a running flat, basically A, B, C. It's a running flat. And now we have looks like a 1, 2. Is that another 1, 2? It looks like it. This is 3. Maybe you get 4 and then 5. So that's probably what's playing here. We're probably going to get a 4, and then maybe Friday we get that one more pop for the 5th, and then we fizzle out over Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even next week. So I would not be buying these prices. I mean, of course,
Not Bitcoin, of course. Definitely not Bitcoin. There's no way I'm buying Bitcoin at 100K. No way. No way. I would much rather own anything else, honestly. That's just the percentages, man. The percentages are not there for me. If Bitcoin heads up to our fifth wave and we hit, let's say we hit 150K, I don't even think I think it's going to be between 130 and 140K. But that's only 40%. That's it. That's all you have. Versus something like, Theta, where you can have a 10x, 1,000% move, right? So, all right. So we looked at Bitcoin and Theta, and it only took 30 minutes. A little bit longer than I wanted, but it's okay. XRP, hey, it's a green day today. We're up pretty big, so it's okay. It's fun to talk about it when things are up, right? But for the longest times, it was a little boring. So XRP is a little bit more complicated. Obviously not the whole structure, just kind of what's going on locally right in here. And we'll talk about that. But the big picture for XRP, you guys already know. I don't know if I need to break it down. Where is my other... There we go. So the big picture, I'm going to take 2 minutes real quick. Basically, you have your base. You have another big base, right? And you do all the phases, rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, and then you get the breakout. Same thing here. Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, and then we're on the verge of a big breakout. So this is the real deal. Definitely want to be exposed to XRP because I think it's going to be monumental when this thing really does break. All right. So, yeah. So as we look at XRP, and let me just take all that off because we don't need it. If we look at XRP, you could see very clearly, look at all these years down here, year after year after year after year after year after year. I mean, that's a long time. And that's a long time doing what? Going sideways. Sideways is the best thing an asset can do because it's resting. Let me explain. You go sideways. You say, what do you mean? You go to sleep, right? When you lay down, you're going sideways. You're laying on your bed sleeping at night, right? Why is that important? Because as you're laying down, you're laying down in your bed. This is your bed right here. And what are you doing when you're laying in your bed? You're resting. You're resting. So if you've been resting for all these years, when you wake up, you're going to have a lot of energy. Okay? You're going to have a lot. So there you go. That's a kind of a funny way of explaining it, but you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 4 is right on the verge of price discovery. So let's get 5, and let's go to $10. And remember, Bitcoin has maybe 40, 50% left. Well, just to get 40%, that doesn't even break us above the high here. So, I mean, we're looking more like 2 to 3 to 400% potentially. So if we look at this structure here, we know that it's finished, or we don't know. I mean, you can't know for sure, but we believe it's finished because you have A, B, and C, right? You have a 3-wave move. And if you want to see that a little bit closer, right? This is a flat A, B, and C. But this doesn't really matter. This is what matters because that's the wave we need to end. So we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then we have 3 back down. And basically when we were down here, I said that looks amazing. It looks perfect. It looks exactly how you would think. And it was a fake out too, because if you notice, here was your range right here, and we actually broke down and people thought, okay, it's over. And sure enough, it wasn't. So after we got this 3-wave move down, we wanted a 5-wave move up. We got it right there. There's your diag. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a wave one. All right. So, and the tricky part is where here's my problem with XRP. Not the fact that I believe it's going to go up. I believe it's going up for sure. The problem I have is what do I do with this? Because the way I look at it is you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 1. And then you can say that's a 2. And then you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's another 1. And then here's a three-way pullback, that's another 2. I mean, that's a 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the most bullish thing in crypto is a 1, 2. The most bullish pattern in crypto is a 1, 2, 1, 2. Because what does it do? It sets off a massive third. And then you get a lot of times a third wave, and then a 4 and a 5, and then a 4 and a 5. A lot of times you get 4, 5, 4, 5 if you get 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's the ultra bullish idea, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we explode up for a third wave, maybe kind of flag out. So we have like a 1, 2, 3, and then you flag out for a 4, then you get 5, and then that's the third wave right there. And then we kind of back test a little bit. We're between $4 and $5. We're like, oh my God, XRP new all-time high between $4 and $5. We're kind of testing the waters a little bit. Maybe you kind of get like a little bit of a flat in here, and then you go up and you set that fifth wave, and you go again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe even 4 and 5. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I think it could happen sooner than we think. Now remember, there's another thing too. We have a lot of ammunition, and people don't talk about that. Ammunition meaning reasons why investors should invest, right? Why would investors invest? Because you have a lot to look forward to. Like what? Like tax cuts. Tax cuts are a big, big market boost. We saw that in crypto when Trump did the tax cuts. I think that was when that was happening, or maybe it was So, but anyways, tax cuts are basically gives a lot of consumer optimism. It boosts the stock market, which in turn boosts crypto. Risk on. Basically, it allows for more risk. That's a big deal. Another deal is the trade stuff, right? Trump today just announced a big trade deal with the UK. Okay, so what happens when he does a big trade deal with China? It's going to be big. I mean, you can say, well, we don't know that's going to happen. Well, Trump is a deal maker. He's going to get it done. He's going to get it done. The Chinese really need this more than we do, honestly. But China's very strong. They don't bend very easily. They gotta look strong in front of their people. They can't look weak, because then they don't care about their people. China is a communist regime. They don't look at. I mean, even our own politicians don't even care about us. But but their politicians really don't care. They're just power hungry. I mean, they're just communism. So my ninth grade algebra teacher, he was Chinese, and he was telling me about communism. And I go, oh, you must have escaped communism and come here. He goes, no, communism is good. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, communism good. Communism very good. I go, okay, all right, whatever you say, pal. Oh, man. His name was Mr. Zen. Mr. Zen, or yeah, something like that. Anyways, I digress. All right, so another way that instead of a 1, 2, 1, 2, I loved some of those teachers, man. Some of those substitute teachers, I just remember they were so hilarious. Those were the funny days. All right, so this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's another idea. And if that's the idea, then this could be a three-wave pullback. And if that's a 1 and that's a 2. So that means this is a 1, 2, and then now we're setting up for that big wave 3, 4, 5. But hold on, not so fast. Not so fast. That could be the deal, but it could also be the same thing, right? Same thing, 1, 2, and then you have 3, and then you have 4, and then you have 5. So that's a 1. Same exact thing. But the difference is this could be 3 down. And then what could happen here is we can go up in 3 and even break the top. And then we can come back down in 3. And that could be your WXY. And then we go up. And then it's kind of like a wave 2, similar to what Bitcoin did back over here, if I can find it really quick. The same fractal we were just looking at with theta, right? So you have 3 down, you got 3 down. You shoot up really fast. Look how, okay, oh, look how fast that shot up. Look at the B wave in here. See, nobody thought this was a B wave because of how fast it went up, right? So a lot of things are going up pretty quickly. So again, they could be a little bit trappy here. I wouldn't buy these prices. I would wait until Sunday. And I would, if you really want to buy crypto, not financial advice, nothing I say is, I could be totally wrong and we could go up massively and you can miss out. But for me personally, I've been burned so many times buying days like this, 10% days, 12% days, and maybe you already bought. But here's the thing, if you already bought, don't sell. Don't sell it. Just keep it. Just keep it and just hodl it and you'll be fine. Not financial advice, but here we go. You could see if this move up here, right? So you have a move down, you have a move down, you have the move up, very fast and vicious, and then you come down, and then you come back down, right? And then you create this little base right in here, right? And then you kind of just continue higher, and then you just continue higher. So that is another idea. So this could be a wave 1, and that's a wave 2. And the wave 2 is, again, more complex, because if you look, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then if you look at the 4 is actually in the same degree as this wave 2 of the larger degree, right? So that's why I think this could be more complex. We could get something like this before going up. So that's what I would expect. So that's why I am not buying XRP. I actually took profit on my XRP. I'm not even holding any XRP right now in a trade, in my trade, right? My hodl position I am, but in my trade, well, I don't want to lie. I have a couple different trades, but for my primary trade, I'm just waiting. I took profit here because you can see, and I can always get back in. It's not a big deal. But if you're a hodler and you're buying a spot position, then you don't want to do this. But I'm using leverage, so I have to be careful. But you can see right here, we came up and we wicked off that 702. So, you know, I would rather just wait and see what happens than risk having to come all the way back down. So, especially since the day's already spent pretty much. I mean, I don't think these prices, you could see all these prices, I don't think they're just going to keep going up. I think you're going to have a sell-off, at least a little bit, you know. So just give it time. I know it's exciting and you want to buy it now, but you just have to be patient, you know. The market will come back. So that's XRP. That's pretty much it. Trying not to go like an hour long like I usually do, but I do want to look at a few others. So if you made it this far, maybe hit that like button. It really helps out. Consider subscribing. And yeah, I think, you know, the way my channel is designed, you know, again, I use basic TA, but the big thing for me is using wave structure, Elliott wave analysis. And to me, that coupled with by the way, the bull market support band, which we haven't really looked at in a little while, but you could see we're back in the band. That's good. Couple that with the TD sequential. Let's go to the daily here. So you could see we almost landed on a 9 here. You could see we almost had a 9 buy. And yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I haven't looked at that in a minute. But notice we had a 9 buy here, but then we took the low, but that was the divergence we were looking for. So you also have the EMA ribbon, and you could see right there, look at this. This is the money shot right here. You could see we're starting to poke above it. And you could say, well, who cares? We poked above it there and there and there and there and there and there. Who cares? No, but the difference here is that, well, number one, we're getting we're getting very compressed, right? You could say, well, we were compressed over here. Yeah, but we were in the middle of a three-way pullback, right? This was in the we have a completed three-wave move here, right? And then we came back up, and you can see how you could see that the ribbons are going down right there, but now you can see the ribbons are going flat. They're flattening out. And you can see we have a bullish daily engulfing candle poking above the ribbon. So if we can close above the ribbon and we can create a base in here, maybe like an ABC in here, like we talked about, that would be a good deal. So how high can XRP go? Well, if we take a Fibonacci and we just look basic Fibonacci, we'll do another analysis as well, but you're looking at least 456 to 638, up to 7, up to 9, right? For this wave here. Now, if you want to look at it from the immediate wave, so if this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, the problem is, where does wave 2 bottom? Is wave 2 already bottomed? If it is, then it is, right? So our third, so this is not measuring how high we're going to go. This is just measuring the third wave. So this could be 1, 2, and then all of that's 3. So the highest wave 3 can possibly go is probably 530, around there. So then we would pull back for a 4, and then we would go up and hit 5, maybe $9. Hopefully $9, $10, $11, $12. Hopefully $257. Wouldn't that be something, man? Imagine just one day, you know, you're sleeping, you wake up, and you look at your phone, and it's $2.25. But then you look closely and you're like, wait a minute, that's not $2.25. That's $225, not $2.25. What happened? So you quickly go to the exchange, you try to sell it, and the exchange is bombarded with people trying to sell, but also people trying to buy. And obviously you would have a massive, if we, for some whatever reason, shot up to like $50, right? There would be so much volume that you would most likely get your order filled. So that would be insane. But maybe one day we'll wake up and it'll be that crazy. But for now, keep it in the realm of reason. Between $5 and $10, I would say, is the realm of reason. But here's the thing, though. XRP could go to $27, and I'm going to talk about that in tomorrow's members video, and I'm going to explain what is needed, how it's possible for XRP to hit 27 or between $25 and $27. And part of the reason is how big this thing is, right? And remember when I did the Amazon video, when Amazon first came out, right? Amazon came out and it went up in a bull run. That was back in 1999, okay? And then it stopped. Right? And then it came down, and then it came back up, and then it came back down, and then it came back up for 10 years. Okay? It took 10 years for Amazon to break out. But because it took so long, it created such a major platform that it allowed the price to, it's still amazing. If you just look real quick, right? This is right here. We came up, we crashed. We came all the way up, and we didn't break out until 10 years later. This was 2000, 2010. That's when we broke out, and we created this major base. 10 years, mind you. And if you look at what happened after that, we're going up. We had the biggest bull run in history in Amazon. Look at it; it's still going up, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen with XRP. It's almost impossible. You could see Amazon is going steadily up. That is boring. It takes forever. It's grandpa and grandma's stock market, right? For crypto, it's like this. Boom. And then it's over, you know? And it doesn't take all this time. So it's a trader's paradise. That's why I trade crypto more than stocks. But since it's a trader's paradise, it's also has a lot of liquidity, right? Well, depending on the exchange, but for the most part, the bigger caps. But yeah, I just that's one part of it. You know, there's a lot of other parts. So the fact that, you know, let's pull a retrace on here. I'm just curious what the retrace is on this. You could see we demolished the 4.236 like it wasn't even there. Okay, so let's go and let's put this on. Let's put this on the fib level. Okay, and you could see we're right at the 2.27. That's hilarious because that's exactly the same level that I compared Doge. See, I compare Amazon to XRP, but I also compare Doge to XRP because Doge has a very similar structure as well. But anyways, Doge is 2.272. All right, so it went up to the 2.272. Remember that. Remember that. All right, now look at Doge for just a second. Yeah, it looks like we're definitely going to go over an hour today. Dang it. Unless I don't look at any other charts. But that's okay. So real quick, here's XRP and Doge side by side, right? So, but if you look, the reason I compare it here is because you can see that XRP is a bull. Remember, XRP did not go on a bull run when Doge, AVAX, all of these coins, THETA, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, all of them, they all went on bull runs in 2021. Solana, right? They all did, but XRP did not. So, but anyways, you could see 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then where's 5? There's 5. But where's the 5th for XRP? We didn't get it yet. We're in the middle of getting it. So there you go. But if you look here, we basically developed this base. That's the same kind of base like this. It's just it's a different time frame. Actually, let me tone that down to the 2-week chart so that it can be better represented. There we go. So anyways, yeah, there's your base. There's your base. So, but anyways, if you look, where I was getting at is if you pull the retrace level on this, which is kind of interesting, and you go all the way down, look where the chart went to, guys. What took Amazon 15 years, well, I would say between 10 and 15 years to hit the 2.272? Dogecoin did it in like a minute, right? It did it really fast. It did it in about a year or less. Or what was that? From the bottom. Oh, C19. Yeah, so a little over a year. So, but yeah, it hit the 2.272, guys. Look at that. 2.272. All right. All right, so fair enough. So Dogecoin did it. Amazon can do it. Let's see. Now let's see where the 2.272 is on XRP. Now, this has nothing to do with my $27 target, but I'm just kind of explaining just for a minute, just for fun. Now look at this. I'm going to take the retrace level and we're going to find the 2.272. All right. So where is it at? It's right there, guys. It's right there. $257. Can I get a hallelujah? No, I don't know if it's going to hit $254. It probably will not. I don't know. But I just find it hilarious that, you had Doge and Amazon both do it. So why can't XRP do it? You could say, well, XRP, that would be an immense market cap. It's impossible. The market cap's impossible, right? Well, there's some theories about that, but also Amazon market cap was pretty big too, I believe at the time. I don't know if it was big as XRP's, but it was, I would imagine it would have to be pretty big. So, but anyways, forget that. Forget the $257. It very well could be possible. You know, imagine you shoot up here and you just tag it really quick. What would have to happen for that to happen? Well, you would have to have like an announcement with Trump, with the Federal Reserve, with the Treasury Department, with some kind of big banking deal involving the US monetary system using a fraction of the XRP ledger or some type of major tokenization from a lot of assets. But that's still far away. I don't think regulations alone can do it. I don't think even definitely the XRP ETF can't do it. So I just don't see it. I don't see it happening unless something monumental happens as far as an event. But here's the thing. Where is the 1618, guys? So Amazon hit the 2.272. Dogecoin did it. Many other coins did it as well. But let's be conservative here, and let's say it's not going to hit it. Well, what's the standard target? The 1618. Well, what's the 1618? $26, $27. That's how I got that number. But there's other ways, there's other reasons how I got that number too. And we'll save that for tomorrow. But there is going to be, I believe, an interesting time coming up here in crypto very soon, right? I mean, just look at this, for example. This is just one little thing, but you take this line up to here, right? And if you take this and you match it from the top of that wave, well, look at that. That's basically in that same little area. So $27 is like the extreme level that it could potentially hit, just to let you know. And if it did, that would be so amazing, because I've been working so hard, man, since 2017 when I got into crypto. It's just been a long journey. I've lost a lot of money. I've lost so much money, but I've made a lot of money. I've blown multiple accounts. Guys. So I've made a lot of money and I lost all of it. And then I had to start over all again a couple times. All right. So it's just been a crazy journey. And if we ever hit that number, you know, my hodl, not to say anything about my hodl, but if we hit it, that would really solidify my hodl position, and it would just make life so much better and easier, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, the main thing people die about, you know, the main thing the biggest problem people have is what? Stress, right? Is worrying. Imagine waking up not having to worry about money ever again. Well, for me, this is what I do for a living. So, but for most people, they go to a job, so you have job security. But imagine waking up knowing you don't have to deal with that anymore, you know? And it's a really good feeling. So even though I don't work a job, I stay home, I watch my son, I ride my dirt bike, I can't complain. But, you know, and nothing's set in stone, right? The way I'm living right now isn't guaranteed. I have to keep pushing, I have to keep growing, right? And that's kind of and I wanted to share what I've learned, you know. So yeah, I appreciate everybody who subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I hit 4,000 subscribers, and honestly, it's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely click subscribe. I mean, I can't believe it. I got almost 600 videos, guys. But most of the videos are not relevant anymore. Obviously, they're not relevant. But anyways, so, and I appreciate all the members' supports too. So thank you, members. I really appreciate all of the member support and subscribers, right? So these are all, look at all my subscribers. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Gratitude. And you know what? With YouTube, it's kind of funny because I notice when views are down, kind of the market's boring. But when views are up, obviously the market's exciting. So what happens, guys? What happens when we finally break out of here? I think my goal would be is to hit maybe 5,000 subscribers by the time we get this fifth wave. So, I mean, that's a big ask. I don't know if it's possible, but I think if XRP is sitting at $10, I think another 1,000 subscribers is totally in the ballpark of reason, because everybody's going to be flocking into crypto. I mean, it's going to make headlines, XRP 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, it's going to be big. It's going to be a big deal. I think it's, because I have friends that text me about XRP don't even understand crypto or even really even talk about crypto back when we had this rally. And that was a little rally. Imagine getting a big breakout rally. I mean, you're going to have your aunts and your cousins and your uncle and your neighbor call you and be like, yo, what's going on with this crypto stuff? And it's like, I don't know, Grandma. I'm busy. No, just kidding. Yeah, so that's kind of the time to get worried, is when everybody hits you up. But anyway, I crossed that 1 hour mark, and that seems like to be the magical number where people just don't want to watch. But just really fast, rapid fire, keep an eye on Monero. It looks really, really good. This is definitely a coin I would want to be holding during the bull run. And you think, Monero? Why would you want to hold Monero? Well, go back and watch all the Monero videos and you'll know. It's very bullish. This is a very bullish structure. We talked about Theta. Shib is also this is another one, guys. You do not financial advice, but I am not missing out on Shib. Shib, to me, looks better than every meme coin as far as the chart goes. I like Shib and I like Trump. Those are the two meme coins I'm all in on. Well, not all in, but I'm not a meme coin guy, but definitely look out for Near. I mean, look at that impulse. Look at that three-way pullback. You're developing a base. At the very minimum, we should get a retrace, but maybe most likely even higher. Keep an eye on Trump. If you look at the Trump chart, to me, it looks pretty nice. You got a nice impulse. Can't really see it, though. You got a nice impulse here. You're flagging out. Looks pretty good. Definitely ADA, right? ADA, HBAR, XLM, Algorand. Those are the ones you also need to really take seriously. Guys, you don't have to own 50 coins. You really don't. As long as you have 6 to 7, I would say between 5 and 10 coins, I think you're good. I don't think you need 50 different coins. It's just going to make it too complicated. And then it spreads yourself too thin, right? Think about the exchange fees. The more coins you own, the more exchange fees you have. So you kind of don't want a lot of different coins. But yeah, ADA is on the verge, I believe. You got 3 down, you got 3 up, you got 3 back down. You got this diag here. It looks like a 1-2-1-2 setting up. I mean, this thing could be primed, guys. It could be ready to go. TIA looks like a little double bottom. Could be interesting. Another one you want to look out for is Litecoin. I've been talking about Litecoin for a while. Litecoin, kind of similar setup as Monero. It didn't really go on a bull run. So XLM is one. Definitely XLM. Look at it. XLM probably has the prettiest looking flag out there. It looks very tight. The tighter it is, the better, because the more explosive it is. Look how tight that is, right? So you can see the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. It's looking pretty good. Dog is another meme coin I like. It's the Bitcoin mascot, but you got a wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2. Looks really good. Axelar is another one I think could be a good contender. Shout out to Paul Barron for showing me this one. Theta, we already know that's going to be a winner. Jupiter, yeah, maybe. HBAR for sure. Right? We're flagging out. Looks really good. It's pretty much the same as everything else. Filecoin, I think, could be one of the biggest winners of all time. Well, at least in my list, because if you look at Filecoin, guys, it's so down. It's like all-time lows here, man. It's really, really low. But the cool thing about Filecoin is that if we go up just in a standard retrace, you're looking at a 10x. You're looking at like a 10x just to get a little more than halfway into the retrace levels. So it could be a big winner, right? It could be a big winner. So if I pull the retrace levels here, and I mean, I guess I can even use it on log. This is log scale fib levels, but just take a look at this really quick. If you take it off log, I mean, the fib levels are like way the hell up here at $150. So I would say there to there, kind of in that chunk, right? So if you take a measurement of that, not saying it's going to get there, but if it ever got a retrace, I mean, oh my God, you're looking at almost 5,000, between 3 and 5,000% just to get back to the retrace levels. Not even talking about an all-time high. Now, we don't know about the inflation and all that stuff. I'd have to look more closely at the inflation, the market cap chart, and see if there's anything different here. But what I like about Filecoin is you have 3 waves up, you have 3 waves down. So you would think you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, and this would be an A, B, C, a standard retrace. You know? So another one you want to look for is Matic. I think Matic is going to be a good one too. It just looks like it's primed. You got 3 down, you got 3 up, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. You got an A, B, C. You got a 3-wave move here. So, but it's never guaranteed, you know. You need an impulse, you need a flag, and you need a continuation. So let's see if we get that cup inverse head and shoulders there. Ethereum. We didn't talk about Ethereum today, but it's definitely a big deal. I would expect it's going to continue higher, probably until we get back up to here, and then we'll see. But we could have little pullbacks along the way. But Ethereum finally woke up, because let's look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin for just a second, because this is where the story is. Oh, wow. That looks like almost too perfect. Look at that bottom. Wow. Look at that. It's like a perfect doji bottom. Like perfect. Well, this is the 5-day. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Okay, looks great. Let's turn it. Oh, there it is. We have a weekly 9 on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Okay, I'm calling the Bitcoin dominance top right here, right now. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to wait until the weekly close. If we get a weekly close, I'll tell you right now, breaking news. If we get a weekly close above these red dots, above the 9, then I would imagine that the Ethereum versus the Bitcoin dominance chart has completely topped. Completely topped. And Bitcoin dominance should be going down, which means we should get an alt season. So you could say, well, who cares? We had a 9 here, 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 here. Exactly. So more reason to believe that we are overdue. I mean, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 weekly 9 buys, guys. So that's a big, I mean, come on. Not only that, but it looks like you had capitulation. Not only that, but you're right at support in here, right? So it looks like it's time for at least a little bit of a bounce here. You got to get a little bit of a bounce, probably back up to there. So if you have any coins you want me to take a look at, drop them below in the comment section, because I know that you made it to this part of the video. I know you're a serious individual. So if you made it this far, and if you want me to look at a specific coin, put it in the comment section, and I'll add it to the list. Wow. Okay. Now here we go. Look at this. I didn't even See, I don't look at sequential all that often unless we're trending, but look at my God. This is it right here, guys. Look at this. We have a weekly 9 sell on Bitcoin dominance. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. We have 5 waves plus a 9 sell, plus we're overbought, plus we're right in the retrace levels, plus Ethereum had a weekly 9. Oh my God, this is the setup, guys. This is it right here. We're right in the retrace levels. So what do you think's going to happen? We're probably going to crash. And what happens when we crash? We're going to get an alt season boom like never before. And then what happens to Theta Fuel when that happens? My God, Theta Fuel looks pretty, I was going to say pretty sexy. That candle right here. Look at that doji, right? Look at that bull hammer candle. I like that. So yeah, Theta Fuel looks good. You got 3 up, you got 3 down. I'm looking for 5 up, back up to here. So yeah, I'm still looking for it, but I think I gotta hang it up here. Render. You know, you got a 3-way pullback. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a lot of these coins. They all look pretty good. So like XDC, you got this nice W pattern, a nice double bottom here. You're flagging out. It just seems like it's primed to me. Wow, Zcash also looks really low. Look at that wick on Zcash. See, I gotta look at more charts and just keep, because I always look at the usual suspects that I usually look at. But looking at Zcash, man, that thing looks nice. Because if you look, you have a wave 1, you have a 3-wave pullback, you have a, you know, I don't know. Interesting. You have, okay, you have, yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5. And you probably have extreme, oh my God, look at the divergence there. See, I don't know if that wick is real or not. I don't know. I would have to look at another Zcash chart. I think fetch.ai was going to be good. Total 3, still looking good. Still got a long way to go. QNT, there's one other one. Oh, Sui. What's going on with Sui? Dang, I said it was going to be a short video today, and but it's okay because it's an exciting day, I think. Yeah, Sui's okay. I don't know if I would buy it though. I just don't know how much juice is left in the tank. And plus you have 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like you're going to get 5. So I would imagine you would flag out for a little bit before going higher. I mean, we'll see. But that should do it for this video. There's one last thing, which is XRP versus Bitcoin. I just want to see what's going on there. So did we take the low? We have not taken the low yet. But so it does still look good, right? Because I'm looking at it as a 4th wave. Let's take the sequential off now. If you look at 1, 2, 3, and then 4, let's get 5, right? And tomorrow, right, the members video, I'm going to be talking about the Lucid SAR and how that's going to be very, very interesting. So, especially when you break them. But yeah, you got 3 down, you got 3 up, and then you got 3 back down. And then it looks like you have 3 up and then 3 down. So maybe we get 5 up right here, and that's a flat. And then and then we have to kind of reaccumulate before going up. Something like that, like a shoulder, a head, a shoulder. We'll see. But regardless, you got a 3-way move here. So I'm looking for a bottom. All right, guys, remember, not financial advice. I could be wrong. Just ideas. We're trying to figure things out. Everything looks great, right? We've been right so far. Expecting a retrace. Things are moving in the right direction. So there's nothing to complain about today. Definitely a good day today. If you're trading, man, you know, take your short-term profits and then maybe recycle them on Sunday when things potentially could be down. I kind of did that with some. Some of them I kind of took a little bit. Some of them I'm still kind of holding. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do. By the way, yesterday, which was May 7th, Remember, I told you I'd tell you I would show you my receipt. Here's my receipt right here. On Theta, I opened a long, or I added to the long, right? I also got Litecoin, I got Shib, and I got Polygon, and I think I got something else. I got XLR2 yesterday, and I got Trump yesterday, and I got Dog, and that was it. So I was shopping yesterday, and look at today. We have a beautiful day today. So, all right, that'll do it. I appreciate everybody. Again, hit the subscribe button. We're going on in my opinion, a big bull run. I think we're going to get a big breakout for XRP. You don't want to miss. This is the most important time, I think, in crypto as we embark into the retrace levels. You're going to want to be paying attention. And yeah, subscribing definitely helps. But then also, if you want even a little bit more, consider becoming a member. And yeah, I will put a members video out tomorrow, and we're going to explore the $27 potential XRP target amongst other things, and we're going to look at different indicators, and I'm going to tell you kind of, I try to give a lot more in the members video, but I'm going to tell you my strategy and how I'm going to play it. So, all right, I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.